Craig, we spoke on the pitch in Pembrokeshire after Saturday's game. Obviously happy with the 3 points, but you weren't too happy with the performance. You've had a few days to reflect. Do you still feel pretty much the same way?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Get the hindsight's a wonderful thing. I had the opportunity to watch the game back, and as much as we controlled the majority of the game, I don't think we played very well at all. But look, I think it's our 11th victory in a row in the league. So at some point you're not going to play very well, and I suppose it bodes well for you if you're not playing very well and you can go away from home in a tough place where historically it's not been easy pickings, and we'll go and win the game comfortably, really.
And that was the third game in the space of a week. Obviously now we're back to weekend games. Players would probably prefer to play as many times as they can. But as a coach, do you prefer it when it's just the weekend games and more time to prepare? Yeah,
definitely. I think you do. You definitely get the opportunity to get on the training pitch, get your game plan across, contact with the players. You can do everything without cramming it in. A lot of it, when there's 3 games in a week, it's sort of like match prep, recovery, match prep, recovery, match prep, and there's not an awful lot more than you can do than that on the training pitch. You obviously got to be wary of the 3 games in 7 days, and there's obviously the travel to have for West and that as well. So we're just glad we got through with 3 victories and in reasonable performance. As much as I wasn't pleased on Saturday, or overly pleased should I say, I think you've got to look at the circumstances as well, and we've had a couple of injuries, but we've also as well had 3 games in 7 days and travel. So I suppose if you said to me at the start of the week 3 victories, you'd take it, but I think we need to build on that a bit more about performances as well. It's not, look, we're in a winning business, we need to win games, but also as well the standards that we've set and the standards that I want and we want as a football club and the players want is we fell below that on Saturday.
And we are back at Park Hall this coming Saturday against Cardiff Met. They won't need reminding that the middle of September we went there, we won 7-0. They'll certainly have a lot to prove.
Yeah, definitely. There'll be a very bunch of proud players that were hurt on the day, because it was a fantastic result and a comfortable victory. It possibly could have been more, but yeah, they're going to turn up here knowing that they can't let what happened last time. They're obviously going to probably have that 5% more fight in them, a little bit of embarrassment from the last time, and also it adds to it as well. I think it's a live game, a 5:15 kickoff, so they're certainly not wanting to go and put on a performance like they did at home and get themselves in a position like they were with a 7-0 defeat. So Cardiff Met are a decent team anyway. They're well organised, they've got a good manager, so it was always going to be tough, and knowing it will be very tough with the added coming off the back of beating them 7-0 in the last result.
And although in the last 3 seasons prior to this one, there's also been a 5-0 to the New Saints, apart from a 2-0 victory, the others have either been draws or just the odd goal in it. And that suggests that, generally speaking, it is a close game.
Yeah, it is. Like you said, Cardiff Met over the last 5-6 years have established themselves as a good team in this league. They've been well organised. Obviously, Christian was manager previously, and now they've carried that on again. And they've got some continuity as well, and they've got players in there with good experience. So yeah, it's a tough game. Yes, we were outstanding away to win 7-0. But like I said, it's a injured animal is a dangerous one, backed into a corner, and I'm sure they're going to come out swinging.
And with no midweek game to focus on, you've been able to get last Saturday out of the system. How's it been going as you look ahead to this weekend?
Yeah, good. I think it is. Every now and then I think it's good to reflect and look back at the games and how we played and how we're progressing and what we've done well, what we haven't done so well, what maybe we've stopped doing when we're doing well. And in the last 2 days there's been there's been some match analysis, breaking things down. There's been a lot of team shape out on the pitch, and there's been a lot of good hard work and some really good quality work as well, because we've got very, very good players, we've got good lads, and they realised and understood that the standards that we're setting and the standards we're pushing towards, we were 30-40% off that on Saturday, but as I mentioned, fortunately we've got the quality to go on and win a tough away game when we're not at it.
starting lineups, changes, substitutions. There's been some good performances on the pitch for the New Saints in the last week or so.
Yeah.
Do you have your starting 11 set in stone, or as we often ask you, Craig, are there still one or two places maybe that you're not sure about?
Yeah, I think they are, because we had a couple of knocks at the weekend where we had to make early substitutes. So we'll have to see how they're recovering. You know, as we stand now, it's Wednesday. We've still got 3 games left to match day. So there's a lot of treatment and recovery going on, and you know, and some training time to get them back on the pitch and go through things we'd want to go through. So it's not, you know, it's not set in stone. You know, but look, I've got 2 teams. A team that if everyone's fit, and a team if not everyone's fit, then you know we'll have to, you know, shuffle around a little bit and go with that. But the fortunate thing about that is got a very strong squad, you know, and it can only be a positive. If someone's injured or someone's missing, it gives someone else another opportunity. The door's open for them to get themselves in the team, and that's the way it's been. It's been very competitive. And if you're playing well, you stay in the team, or you're making it my job very, very hard. That's all I've ever asked from the day I've come in, is make my job as hard as possible by training well every day, playing well when you get opportunity, not sulking if you're not playing, not putting everything into training, not doing yourself justice, because then that becomes an easy decision for me.
And as we say farewell to October, we move into November. It's a healthy lead at the top of the table for the New Saints, apart from the opening day draw against Newtown. Consecutive back-to-back victories, scored more goals than anyone else, conceded less. As you step back and look, it is a healthy position that no doubt you would have taken before the season started. Yeah,
without a doubt you would have. You know, I think I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be. You know, but there's always room for improvement. Like on Saturday, you know, I thought we were poor in large spells of the game, but that's something that you know the players and the club are used to high standards, and it's you know, myself and the coach and staff, it's driving them high standards and having accountability for how we play, not just performances. Yes, like I just said, performances are not just results. Results are important because the what decides whether they get 3 points or not, but the performance also is very high on our agenda as well. So we need to make sure we don't just want to be a team that just wins. We want to win and we want to perform at the same time as well.
And you mentioned there little niggles that perhaps you'll be waiting on. What about the longer term injuries? Josh Paskin, Blaine Hudson, how are they coming along?
Yeah, very good, very encouraging. They both will be back with the group this month. Some part and be the end of the month, but they will be both back involved. With the full time training with the first team squad by the end of the month. They both moved on again, both out on the pitch with Phil, doing work with him, and then we're just waiting for another scan from Jordan Williams as well, which is positive. Jordan's gone back to doing a little bit of gym work, so we are in a positive position with the 3 long-term ones we had, so hopefully Josh and Blaine are becoming mid to short term, the every day that moves on, and Jordan's becoming mid-term. So yeah, it's good, it's encouraging, it's good for the lads. I spent a lot of time in my career at the back end with injuries, and I know how psychologically hard it can be. But it's just important that they stay connected to the group, and they come in and they join in and they feel part of it, because they certainly are. They've all 3, have played a massive part and will play a huge part in the coming season.